Welcome back to the Hartford Green Podcast with Monster Verde.
The fifth official, the co-host, Nick here, guys.
And it's Sean, the security guard slash the producer.
Once again, we're gonna shout out Steven for our website. If you guys have not seen it yet, it's the hartfordgreenpodcast.com. Very nice website. Very thankful for what he has done. And just basically, if you don't know what it is, just a biography of us, who we are, where we come from, who we support. And also, if you don't want to go to straight to YouTube or Spotify to listen to our podcast, you can just go to the website, click on the link, and also our Instagram is in the website as well. Another thing I want to add is I do have to I do give credit where credit is due. Someone did comment on the last podcast on YouTube. I did mistake Sean Coffee with Barry Coffee. That is not his name. His name is not Sean Coffee. It is Barry Coffee. I do really apologize for that. That is completely unprofessional for me to make a mistake like that. Not once, not twice, but three times. But yeah, I am sorry. And another thing, I do want to try my best to stop saying I was listening to the last couple podcasts. I do say a lot. Nobody has commented on it yet, but it does annoy me. So that's all I got quickly with that. That being said, how are you guys? How are you guys feeling about Birmingham? How are you feeling, Verde?
Well, after the Wednesday game, it was my birthday, so it's been a busy week for me. Yeah, I know the result wasn't the team didn't look like the same team that we saw on Saturday. It did not it looked like night and day team. Like we looked like the team on Saturday looked like mid-season form. The game on Wednesday, we looked like we just came out preseason.
Yeah, I mean it was a little bit it wasn't the greatest. I'm not as quite as like psyched as I was like a week ago, but I'm also not like freaking out about it. I don't think it was like a catastrophic game or anything. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that we kind of commended the team for in the last game didn't seem to be the case. But I mean, we can blame some of that on the fact that it was a midweek game at noon, which 11 our time. That's kind of tough on the guys. Um, Also, no Mishi. That's a big impact. So that was unfortunate, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I think we just got to look to the midweek this week and next weekends, and it's not the end of the world. A point is a point.
Yeah, without Michi, we don't have speed on the wings. To be honest, Michi is speed on the wings.
Well, I don't think we have the. Go ahead.
And that was only one sub that we changed. No, only one change from this no, season opener was just Michi out
Right.
for Adiella. That was only one change. So we don't.
Yeah, I'll touch on the lineups in a second, but I just want to say I'm gonna disagree with both of you guys. That was fucking horrible. That was a horrible performance. We are very lucky to come out with a point. That we should have lost 3-1. Honestly, that was a really bad game. And you guys are right. Everything that we said good about the team in the first game against Jacksonville, they just completely they listened to the podcast and they took it for they just literally listened to it and they just said let's do completely the complete opposite we did on Saturday because that's what they did. Everybody played horrible. It was a really really bad game. There was no pressure. I didn't see no pressure from Augie. I didn't see no pressure from Addy. I saw nothing from Beverly again. Jordan Scarlett looked better. Defense was the only people that kind of showed up in that game because they had to kept on being called to the ball. Siaha was again there. He made saves, but the defensive part, Dispe, Scarlett, Fisher, they were playing. Matt Reel, they were playing. Sebastian Anderson got caught out a couple times, but he was playing. But just everybody else, the remaining five players, just stayed home. They really stayed home. I'm sorry. Barry Coffey, Junior Morera, Beverly again. It was just really a piss poor performance.
It looked like we didn't want to show up. We looked like we did not want to be there. We didn't. We looked like since it was a school day. We looked like we should be in school there, not really playing. We look like it's not
I,
look
I
like that.
I agree with you. I understand it's the second game of the season. I did predict to have 7 points at the end of this away stretch. So that's my prediction still. I
Um,
predicted a 2-0 win. Obviously, we all were wrong. It was a 0-0 tie. And these Birmingham games have typically had goals when we face each other, whether it being home or away, and this just nothing happened. It was just horrible. No shots. I mean, Tampa, the first game with Tampa that Birmingham had, Tampa put 15 shots on them. We were struggling to put shots on them. We just offensively we were not there. Defensively, we were there because we just couldn't we just kept playing defense. That's what I have to kind of lay into the team. Do you guys have anything else to add before I go into summary and lineups?
yeah, pretty much. Oh, wait, go first, Ron.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I will say it obviously it was not good. Like I'm not I'm not thrilled with the performance, but once again, the reason I'm not like it's good to be able to learn these kind of lessons about the team early on without actually taking a loss. And we were very lucky because if we had been playing almost any other team in the league, we probably would have taken a loss there. But thank God we were playing Birmingham, which is not an attacking, not an aggressive team, as 2 weeks in a row has kind of proved, at least thus far. So I don't know. It's a point to look back on. Like what can we do better? It sucks. It's not the end of the world though. I mean, it was frustrating to watch. All those kids that were there are probably never gonna come back. But hey, that's at least they weren't in Hartford, so it's okay.
Yeah, and pretty much even I gotta say something about Berman. They didn't look like their place didn't look like they were ready to show up too. Like I think they had like 15 shots and only two on target, and we had like 8 shots and two on target. So like both teams like saying, why the fuck are we playing at noon, 11 a.m. their time? Like I said in the group chat, and you guys said no. I think as a player, it messes the game routine having a game this early. Like if okay, you're like maybe like a 5 p.m. game, okay, instead of 7 p.m. Okay, you could flip your game time routine very easily by 2 hours, but having like a 7 hour difference is hard because they wake up early. They have to wake up early at the team meals. Everything's off fucked with them having a super early game, you know?
Yeah, I will say that no, you're actually right. It definitely does make a break up the routine. I think this was the first time any of these players have decided to play at 12 o'clock. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's who who professionally, like when you're semi-professional or when you're growing up, maybe it's different. But as a professional soccer player, I don't remember the last time I've watched a game at 12 o'clock.
I felt like I'm watching. I thought I was. Oh wait,
The
go.
USL Championship Finals are at 12 o'clock.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I forget that.
really? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah. You
Wow.
you watched the game at 12 o'clock in October or
November.
November, whatever it was.
But also it felt like waking up watching a game at noon felt like I was watching the Premier League. That's when primetime Premier League or and it's a Wednesday, so also champ wasn't Champions League going on at the same time? Yeah, Champions League was going on the same exact time as Hartford's playing. But yes, we do play games earlier in the season, like not this year at least, but we used to do a home opener. We used to be like at 1 p.m. though. We used to like do home openers at 1 p.m. Remember?
I thought it was at like 3 o'clock, but yes, it's somewhere
No,
similar to that.
no. But I remember going to tailgates at like 10 a.m.
Oh, really? Okay. So, that being said, I'll go with the lineups really quick. Starting off with Hartford. Like we said in the beginning of the podcast, there was only one change made. That was Adi Obalola coming in for Mishi and Galina. So the Mishi rode the bench this game. Anthony Ciala starts in the net. Sebastian Anderson on the right. Dispe, Scarlett, Fisher, Matt Reel, Barry Coffee, Beverly Macangila, Junior Moreira, Augie Williams, and like we just said, Adi Obalola. Our substitutes were Sadat and Hernandez. For Birmingham, it was Koliat in goal, Brown, Kavita, Hamuda, McCartney on the defense, Cole, Antwi, Shashuda, Pasher, Diarbin, and returning Romario Williams, familiar face if you guys remember him. For substitutes for them, it was Duru, McAlton, and Ngoma. That's the starting lineups. The summary of the first half, all that happened on paper was just a 45-minute yellow card by Beverly Macangila. Uh, you can call it a real stupid foul, in my opinion. he pulled the jersey. I really don't agree with that a call. I agree with the call. I don't agree with the foul. It wasn't a smart foul in my opinion. The guy was nowhere near on goal. The guy was no there was like three defenders back. I don't agree with whatsoever what he did. But first half stats are as follows. Expected goal ratio of 0.54 for Birmingham, 0.10 for us. Ball possession, nothing new. 62% to Birmingham, 38% to us. This is where we get dominated, really. 9 total shots for Birmingham, 3 shots for us, 1 on target apiece for both teams. Big chances. Birmingham had 1 big chance. It says statistically, I think they had 2 big chances. They really did have 2 really big chances where they could have scored. Corner kicks was 4 for in favor for Birmingham, 2 for us. 89% pass completion, 206 completed to 231 attempted for Birmingham. 79% pass completion for us, 115 completed, 145 attempted, and 1 yellow card, like we said, for Beverly. That's all I have for statistically and summary for the first half. We looked very flat. We looked like we weren't there. No chances whatsoever for us. Birmingham was destroying us. They should have scored. I think to end the half, it should have been 2-0 Birmingham. Do you guys have anything to add?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was not a good first half, and the whole time I was expecting it to go the same way as the game versus Jacksonville. I was like, oh, we're starting the game, we're a little awkward, we're gonna find our footing and get in there. And we just never really did, and I kept expecting us to, and it was just kind of painful to watch. It was not the
It
best.
was just a completely different performance than what we saw in that Jacksonville game. So going into the second half, summary: Junior Moreira got a yellow in the 49th minute. In the 57th minute, we saw a sub. Adi Obalola came off, who really didn't look that good. But to be fair, nobody looked good against Birmingham. Sadat came on. Romario Williams got a yellow card on the 67th minute. And then Duru, so this is where it gets interesting. Duru came on at the 70th minute. This was a big fuck up by the referees. I blame this completely on the fourth official and the center referee. It was basically Duru, the fourth official, from what I saw from the TV, the fourth official let Duru come on. The center official was not made aware of that decision. She booked Duru, which by all means, she should have just been forgiving and be like, all right, this was a mistake on the referee part. The fourth official let him on. I did not let him on. I'll let you slide. So Duru got booked for that, which was really unfair in my opinion. Also, at the same time, McCallum came on for Brown. Then, 73rd minute, Sadat got a yellow card, and then Fisher got a yellow card. 76th minute. 77th minute, Duru was running down the wing. Siaha came out, and Duru really slipped. He slipped and tackled Siaha, and he got a second yellow, and he got a red card. So with the 77th minute, where Birmingham is down a man, we have a man advantage. Remember what I said against Jacksonville? I was saying to Brendan, I was like, "Oh, this is good. He's making offensive subs." And he did with Sadat coming on in the 57th minute. But I was expecting Mishi and Carriaga to come on as soon as that red card came on. Regardless if they were a little bit injured, which we don't know if they were injured, but Carriaga and Mishi rode the bench the whole of the game. I'm not a betting man, but I would bet money for Carriaga and Mishi to come on for those last 10, 15 minutes to at least do something. I mean, seriously, you're up a man, not just tired legs. We're not even talking about tired legs. We're talking about a man advantage. And you have 2 of the most dangerous players in the league on the bench. Even if they're a little bit injured, I know they want to come on and play. And I'll even talk more about it because this upcoming Wednesday, which we'll talk about in a couple minutes, we face Motown FC, we don't even know a single player from that team. They can be rested that whole time. We didn't play this past Saturday. We're playing against Motown on Wednesday. Let them play the 15 minutes. Let them. I don't think they're going to tear an ACL. These injuries that they may have, I don't think they're that serious. They just have, if they do, little injuries. So I was very surprised, and I do blame Brendan Burke on this. I have to. I have to blame Brendan on this. I can't believe you didn't bring on Mishi and Galina and Sammy Carragher, especially with the impact that they had in the first game. Mishi had 2 assists, and Carragher had a goal and assist. So that being said, Hernandez came on for Barry Coffey, which Barry Coffey looked good, and Hernandez for those 15 minutes, he looked very, very good, very quick. I'm very excited to see what he can show us on Wednesday against Motown. And that's it for the substitutes. And Goma came on for Romario Williams in the 87th minute. And then, Sean, you can show this, but 87th minute came, 88th minute came. So that actually scored. And I kind of want to get a better angle of what happened, but I don't think Sadat was offside. I think I think Augie Williams was offside when Matt Reel made that cross. That's what I personally think was offside because he interfered with the play. That's why I think the goal was given as an offside because honestly, Sadat looked line up with the 2 other defenders. I don't think he was offside whatsoever. Sebastian Anderson got booked in the 92nd minute, and then Dispe got booked in the 93rd minute. We also talked about on Saturday on that Jacksonville game about how disciplined we were. Again, completely fucking forget about that. We ended up having 6 yellow cards this game. So
Mhm.
just everything we talked about on Saturday on that Jacksonville game last week, forget about it. They just forget about it. I will talk quickly on statistics and then I'll let you guys talk about the second half. Second half stats were 0.48 to Birmingham, 0.28 to Hartford. We actually had more ball possession this half, 57% to Hartford, 43% to Birmingham. 6 shots for Birmingham, 5 shots for us. Split a piece, 1-on-1 for on target. One big chance for Birmingham, which they had a very big chance. They could have easily scored. They had an easy open goal, and the guy just missed it. 3 corner kicks for us, one for them. 83% pass completion for both teams. 132 completed for Birmingham, 160 attempted, 167 completed for Hartford, and 201 attempted. I'm sorry, 5 yellow cards, not 8, but 8 total, and then 1 red card. That's all I have for the stats and the summary. What do you guys have to say about that, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, second half, once I really after that Jacksonville game kept expecting that all of a sudden we were gonna lock in. And I actually watched the game, the second half of the game potentially in class. Hopefully my professor doesn't see this. And I saw the ball go in and I was like, "Oh, great. We've scored right at the end of the game. It's perfect." And I think it was just Augie that was offside. I mean, the angle wasn't the greatest. And the yellow cards were crazy. I mean, I think the ref was maybe a little excited to show cards, but I mean, still, some of the fouls they were making were just unnecessary. I think there was one, if I remember, there was one really good yellow card, and I don't remember which one it was, but I remember someone made a tough foul that was a yellow, but it prevented a breakaway, and that was okay. But a lot of them were just like aggression for the sake of aggression. It felt like in situations where it was not necessary. So that's definitely something to work on. Also, Samu and Mishi they were on the bench, so clearly they have the ability to play. Like
Yep.
I obviously there's something going on, otherwise they would have started the game. But they're on the bench, they can play some amount, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be there. I really don't understand why. I agree. I don't understand why they didn't go in after they got the red card, which you know, I'm never gonna really complain that another team got a red card, but it was a terrible. It was terrible. I think he was unlucky for the first yellow card wasn't his fault at all, and the second one was was a yellow because of what happened, but it was also just really unlucky. So it was just like it was not a great second half for either team for the game in general. It was tough to watch. I don't know.
Not just in this game, but this league this week the referee gave us a lot of yellows, and I think there was like six different red cards in week two of play. So the referees are calling more shit this year. And
Oh,
one thing I want to talk about that which I like the ref actually did. The ref actually followed the new rule. Berman goalie had 8 seconds to get rid of the ball. He didn't get rid of the ball. He actually so it turns into a corner kick. At that point, we were a man up. When we were a man up, so we had an extra guy on a corner kick. On a corner kick, we have an extra guy in the box because they were man down. That should have been a golden opportunity for a score. I appreciate the referee actually following the new rules because which made see say, okay, I'm going to move faster, but he saw the first. And if the goalie did the same thing the next time, it would have been a yellow card because he's repeating offense.
I actually agree with you, Verde. That is true. That I forgot about that for a second because they did call that rule for the first time that we've seen it, and yeah, referee. I'm not gonna lie, was pretty bad. It was a pretty. She was pretty bad. But that being said, the game ended 0-0, and personally, it shouldn't have ended 0-0. It should have probably ended 3-1 to Birmingham. We're like I said, we're very lucky that we walked away with a point. And I just want to say this: games like this that we are expecting to win against opponents that are not that good, this is what costs us in the end of the season. This is what costed us 2 years ago to not make the playoffs. This is what costed us last year to not get a home game. We're gonna be we can think about this 6 months down the road and be like, oh my God, we need 1 point to make to be fourth place again, and we dropped 2 points against Birmingham because we tied. Look at that, So stuff like that. Obviously, you're not going to win every game. You're not going to tie every game. You're not going to lose every game. But just what the fuck happened to this team in a 3 day span? I don't know what happened. Just completely forgot how to play football. And that's all I have for the Birmingham game because I don't want to go too much into it.
I
But if
love
you
him.
guys have anything else to add, be my guest.
We didn't see in the moment of players standing up again, so that's still going on. The strike is still going on with players standing up, which is good. Um, but honestly, you can play this game's in Costa in the future. I don't think it's in Costa, but right now, I know it's early season, 2 weeks in. Right now, we are second place. I don't remember a time when Hartford was ever in second. I don't recall a time we were ever in second place at all. Though. So like, we're only 2 points behind Louisville. Same that goals are but down by one. The goal for plus one better than ours. So like, honestly, there's six teams in the East that are unbeaten. We're one of the teams that we played 2 games. I think there's three of us that played. No, I think there's only 2 teams that played 2 games, and the other 4 teams that only played 1 game. So like technically, we're going right now we're undefeated. So I can't 2 clean sheets. We get to see as yet to consider goals this season.
Absolutely, there's some positives, but just the thing is that they need to do better against Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's going to be a real test. Um, we'll talk about the Motown game in a second, but I just want to say, responding to a comment, somebody said that he thought that Matt Reel was the man of the match for last game against Jacksonville. I can see that. We should have give credit where credit is due. He came in as a debut and he played phenomenal. We did give him credit for it. That's I don't think that's a hot take. I appreciate you getting involved. Now I have a question to everybody. Who was your man of the match for the Birmingham game? Personally, for me, I don't know if I'd give it to anybody. If I had to give it to somebody, I'd give it to the defense and Siaha. That's who I would give it to. I can't single out one person personally, but that's
Oh.
just my opinion.
Talking about CR, I want to say that was his 30th clean sheet in USLC's champ 30th. So that's a big milestone for him. So since that, I'm going to say he had a good game. He saved us a couple times, so I'm giving him my man of the match, honestly.
Yeah, I reckon probably just like the back line as a whole, Anthony Siaha or the maybe the referee for giving them that red card.
So, unfortunately, guys, we don't know anything about Motown. We would love to give you more information, but it's the one game of the season where we don't know anything about the team because it's the first round of the U.S. Open Cup. We really don't know players. We don't know stats. We don't know anything because they kind of don't have any. unfortunately, and so we can't give you any what happened, what this team is. All we know is we're away, which we should be away. We're the team in the much higher league. And all I can give you is kind of a predicted lineup. I expect everybody who hasn't played a minute yet this season to play in this game. I expect Siaha to be on the bench. I expect Obalola, if he's available, to play. I expect Sadat to start. I expect Hernandez to start. Like I said, everybody who has not played, even throw in an academy kid, I would, someone who's been impressing in the academy, get him in there. Carriaga and Mishi, I would keep on the bench. Let them be 100% ready for Brooklyn. I wouldn't even think about throwing them into the game. TJ Prestis absolutely starts the fucking game, plays 90 minutes. He hasn't played a single minute this season.
I'll
Throw
let
him in
Scola.
there.
I'll take Scola off and let TJ play. Give him the veteran a day off.
Yes, and then I would like to say the Cyprus guy, Christos, should start on the game. And like I said, everybody who hasn't started yet, who's been a sub this season, let them play the game 100%. And I would play Samaria this game if he's available. I would bench Matt Real, play Samaria, or maybe you know what? Actually, this would be the perfect opportunity to put them together. Throw them in the same team together if they're available. See what they can do and see if they can work together in that kind of same position role like we talked about last podcast. Let's see how they play. If Samaria is available, we'll see what happens with that.
Uh,
That's honestly all I have for a Motown review. All I have left to say is what are your predictions for the game score wise?
well, let me say something about Motown. We're playing the League Two side, so there's two divisions below us. So it's a bunch of college kids, high school kids, practice squad. It's like a practice college side, so it's not even in preseason form. I think they only practice on their Instagram. They look like they only have one practice on Friday, and I would be surprised because during the Open Cup, teams like to do this. It's not like they might sign today or tomorrow a retired player who just retired last season, like to get to play against us. So we might see someone, I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised, not really. And I know Sean and I are going up to see that game. First away game of the season.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, I reckon it'll probably be it will not be a close game. If I had to predict, I'm gonna say 5-1. I think we're gonna do something embarrassing at some point just because I'm there and they want to upset me a little bit. But I'll be there. It's gonna be at the NJIT Stadium in Newark, New Jersey. So if any of you watching are able to be in New Jersey on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, you should come. It'll be a fun time. We've got We'll,
Uh,
we'll we'll make a nice little section, and hopefully we can bring in some drums and stuff.
I think right now there's about 10 of us or so, round about. I know like there's about 10 of us, and then probably be all the player families from the other side from Motown. And if you guys can't make it, the game won't be on ESPN Plus. It'll be on CBS Sports Network or Paramount Plus if you don't have cable TV at 7 p.m. kickoff. And I feel like that game, I don't know. In the World Cup, will we see the USL players not don't kick the ball? The USLC players don't kick the ball from that. Be interesting what they do if they're gonna bring it into the cup or keep it in league form. Be interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
the thing that I have is Motown did lose only 1-0 last year in the US Open Cup to Westchester, and Westchester only beat them 1-0 with a penalty in the 81st minute. So Westchester was tying with them the whole game into the last 10 minutes. So there's that. The
I forget. Does the Open Cup go overtime or penalties right away?
it goes extra time and then penalties as it
That's
should.
why. That's why I thought it was.
Bossy, you should remember after the travesty in Portland.
Oh yeah, yeah, shit. I don't remember shit. No, I just remember the Jägermeister last year.
Not even just Portland. You also remember 2 years ago of New York City.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I try to forget about that one.
Yeah, that was the worst officiated game I ever been to. The so the Motown game, I'm gonna disagree, Sean. I'm gonna say 5-0. If we concede a goal against them, I'm gonna be really upset. So maybe there will be something embarrassing, but yeah, I'm expecting goals. I want this to be. I have to say we have to experiment this game. This is the game. This is I never want to call this a preseason game. No disrespect whatsoever. This is a legitimate game, but this is a game to try stuff, to try new formations, to try new players in different positions, to try set pieces that you think will work in a professional game. That again, I'm talking down on them, but that will work against a team like Birmingham, Louisville, Jacksonville, Brooklyn. Games like that. So with the tall players that we have, like this pay, maybe he'll play. Throw in a good fucking corner. Have Matt Real or Samaria or Anderson throw in a real good corner. Have them
Look,
get their head on the ball.
also, been interested in how Brendan manages the team because we do play again on Saturday. Cross the Hudson River in Brooklyn, so it'll be seen how we some players gonna be minute restrictions. So I think okay, let's have, for example, I'm gonna say Matt Real play 16 minutes, or some players are gonna be minute restricted because of we played on Saturday, and it'll be interesting. Does the team travel back up or just go to Brooklyn from straight there on Thursday? Be interesting.
Well, talking about traveling to Brooklyn, there's a bus going. I don't know, Bossy, if you wanted to talk about that.
There's about 20 seats left, guys, so please reach out. We'll post that information again. It's a good time, good way. If you're not a supporter and you think about joining a supporters group, good way to just come meet other fans, chat, meet, talk to people that you don't talk to regularly at the games, and it's just a vibe.
Uh, I'll put the poster with the contact details and the information on screen right here. Take a look at it. It'll be a really good time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it, but it's such a good experience, especially if you haven't done it before. Come along. Why not? It'll be good.
Thank you very much again for listening to this podcast. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Interact with us, questions. That's all we got for today. Vamos Hartford.
Vamos Hartford, we're ready to go to the Open Cup on Wednesday, and we'll have another podcast later this week. Probably like Thursday. We'll probably try to record on Thursday so we can talk about the game on Wednesday, and a preview for Brooklyn. Vamos Hartford, and let's show Motown what we made of.
Vamos Hartford. As always, if you've listened this far, give me a message. I'm still counting up the cookies. I'm in debt. Hit me up. As always, thank you for watching the Hartford Green Podcast. We will see you on the next episode.